Thank you so much for listening to me, starting from now. I'm happy to be here, but at the same time, I think there is a lot of things that go into a journey, and for me to talk about the idea that stems from the journey, it's for me to talk about the journey. The two words that have really, really given me a lot of influence, and I really like it if everyone, when I'm talking, would look at me, because then that'll make me feel a little attentive, so the person a little distracted can look at me here. I'm not that bad looking. This is one thing that, these two words that have really defined my process, my life so far, has been purpose and time. I started off at a very young age in terms of what I wanted to do, because I was very clear. Because when I was in school, I was a victim of being bullied. I used to get bullied in school when I was in school, and it's a fact, it's a truth. I got pushed to the wall. Of 6th grade to the 9th grade, I was bullied very badly in school. There are 3 things that happens when you get bullied, when you are a victim. The first thing that happens is you suddenly get caught up in a shell, and you're not able to come out of that shell. You sit in corners, you weep, you feel that the entire world is against you. That's the first thing that happens to someone who gets bullied. The second thing that happens is you lose confidence, and because of the fact that you lose confidence, as you move forward in your life, you're always thinking that, oh my God, I got bullied, maybe something is wrong with me. And that thing sets an unbelievable fringe in your head that you can never get out of. That was the second thing. And the third thing that happens when you get bullied is you don't think about the bullying as something that was a cause and an effect, that you were the effect of that. You just look at it from a very different perspective. For me, the third thing happened, unfortunately. So when I used to get bullied, I never used to think that, oh my God, what's happening? Why are they doing this to me? Why am I being victimized? I just thought that, wow, I'm important. That's why they're probably doing it. And I know it's very weird for a 8th grade student to do that, but I felt nice that, oh my God, I'm so much of an important aspect of these people's lives that everything for them is revolving around what Saad is doing, which was amazing. That propelled me to be, at the age of 16, to do something with the fact that I was losing my confidence. And I realized that I was stammering, I was stuttering, I wasn't able to complete my sentences. So what did I do? I attended a theater workshop. And when I attended the theater workshop, it was unbelievable, because here I was from all-boys school, which is very sad, yeah, it is, trust me, let's not get into the details. I went into a place where there were different people from different phases of life. A lot of people were older than me, some my age, and they all had this one thing that was unbelievable, a zest and a zeal to learn. And I just stood there, and because my only job at that theater workshop, after finishing the theater workshop, there was a play, and I was 17 by then. My only job was of a backstage manager or a production associate. My job was to come to the place and clean the room before everyone would start. I had to get tea and coffee for the actors. I had to photocopy scripts. And I was the person who no one would look at, no one would observe, because I was observing everyone else. The power of observation when you're minuscule in the larger dimension of things is unbelievable. And I could observe without anyone observing me. That was fantastic. And I learned a lot with that. The moment that happened, I got into the most unbelievable aspect of my life, which created the first idea. Because over there, when I was doing that theater job, even though it was so small, I realized that people were getting paid media opportunities. People were getting paid for what they love to do. And they were doing it in that same sphere, in that same passion. And I joined an engineering college after that. So there's a story behind it. So the reason I joined engineering is because my parents wanted me to be an engineer, which is, I think, why most of y'all also are sitting here. It's okay, don't worry, you can own up to it, because this is the only time that you can. I got into engineering, and I got into mechanical engineering, knowing very well that someone told me, and one of my seniors told me, that if you have to choose a branch, and I was getting a free seat in electronics and communication, and IT as well. But before I went there, one of my seniors says that if you want to do theater and if you want to live your life, take mechanical engineering. They also said that you'll have fewer girls in class, but if you have charm, the girls from architecture will come to you. And that's what happened. Let's not get there. I got into the engineering zone, and the one thing that engineering makes you know, and makes you understand is acting. you have to act in front of everyone, literally, over your 4 years. At least for me, that's what I thought. In front of lab attendants, in front of the principal. I hope the principal is not here right now. In front of everyone, there is a certain amount of acting that goes into an engineering college. And a lot of stories in an engineering college campus. I took all of that in the first year. And the one thing that was not there, luckily for me, in that campus, was there was no theater group in my college at that point of time. So I said, what do I do? I've done this 2 theater workshops. I need to do something. I have to do something. So I said, let's start a theater group. So I put up posters in college, handmade posters. I made a poster saying that let's re-evolve creativity. I don't know what that means right now. But I wrote all of that and I put a poster with my name in the end. Come to class number, I remember the room number 310, Saad Khan. And 10 days, nobody came. No one came because everyone was obviously in labs or in some other places. No one came for 10 days and I was very disappointed. I walked across the campus and I'd put up over 20 posters. Most of the posters were taken down, torn, graffiti marks. The one thing common in all posters was that my first name became Saad from Saad. The A was removed in every poster, which was unbelievable because there again, I used that same bullying thing in the past and I was like, my God, there are so many people who have the time to scratch out the A and make something else out of it and make my name Sad. Obviously, I had a smirk on my face, and I went back with a little bit of an optimism, and at the same time, a lot of pessimism as well. So I waited. You just wait in that room number 310. The reason I'll tell you why I remember it's 310. After the 12th day, 13th or 14th day, I was waiting there in the corner. 310 was along the corridor at the end. So there was 301 to 310. One particular evening, 4:30, I was about to leave, and a bunch of guys and girls started walking at the distance. And I was standing outside in the corridor. I was like, man, I hope they don't turn into 303 or 305. I just hope they come all the way to 310. They kept walking, and my pessimism got more excited as they kept walking because I knew they're going to go to 306 or 307. All of them, 8 or 9 of them, they came up to me and they said, and they were boys and girls, so that was my lack of girls in my boys' school did not affect me that time. So they came up and they said, a theater group. I said, yeah. Are you sad? And I said, not anymore. And they joined in, and that second semester spark created many opportunities for us in college. And those opportunities went for 4 years, and in those 4 years, I had the opportunity of directing about 12 plays in English. And those 12 plays were not just plays that happened in the campus, it happened outside. So I was this mechanical engineer who got permission from the university because my principal called me in the 4th semester and said that you came in Bangalore Times in the front page today, right? I said, yeah. Yeah, just attend your labs and your exams, go do this for the college. That was an opportunity that was created because of a small idea, which was, let's drive yourself to do something. And in those 4 years, from my own eyes, that one small idea of trying to create a media opportunity created so many media opportunities for all of us on campus. Because we used to spend a small amount of capital on a particular play, on a particular theatrical production. And after the end of the play, the ticket sales would give us all individual money. And that money from, say, 300 rupees, not that less, but it started getting bigger and bigger. And from there, 4 years engineering, I'm done, what do I do? In the 3rd year, most of my family members, considering I'm a Muslim, did not go to Dubai. They were mostly in the United States for some reason. They were studying. They went to pursue higher education. And in my mind, there was some sort of a thing that, you know what, I need to get out of what I'm doing to learn more, to educate myself. Because at the end of the day, education is what's going to set me apart. I don't want to be a guy with a theater background, wearing a big kurta, walking around with a bag that is from Hum India, and doing plays. I didn't want to be that guy. So I said, you know what, let me try and be something else. So now, with due respect to the people who do that, I'm talking about what I wanted to do. And I went into this whole zone of wanting to go abroad. So I applied to a couple of universities. They saw that I'd done so much of theater, and they saw that I was also involved with a lot of people with different various groups, and I had a mechanical engineering degree. So I got admitted to a couple of universities. But when I got my I-20, which is the document that gives you the admission in the United States of America, I had to pay $35,000 for 2 years for my education. And at that point of time, when I went for my visa interview, my passport got withheld on random selection because my name is Khan. I'm not kidding, it's the truth. It got withheld. I thought you laughed there, but it's okay. My passport got withheld under random selection. I just couldn't get the passport back. And I kept going on the website, and the US consulate kept saying that, no, you're not going to get it back. Because apparently my face resembled with someone who was from Lebanon, whose name was also Saad Khan. And I'm not making this up, I'm serious. This is where one of the words that I mentioned at the beginning, time. Time played a very important aspect of my life. Those 9 months that I waited for my passport to cut back, in those 9 months, I kept on talking to my university that gave me the admission. They deferred my admission 2 times. And in that difference process, they understood me better and they saw my progress because I got into short films. I started making short films, I started acting in short films, I started working in production in short films in those 9 months. And when my passport came back, 2 months before my passport came back, they gave me a complete scholarship, study scholarship to the US. And that time, that waiting, returned the passport. My name was still Khan. I had the same course that I was going for. And this time, instead of paying $35,000 to $40,000 for 2 years, I only had to pay $600 for my health insurance. And that only happened because of that wait. If I had made a mistake at that point of time to go to another university abroad because this university and this country was not giving me an admission, I would have been somewhere else and I wouldn't have been here right now. I strongly feel that. From there, in the US, the moment I got into the US, the first thing that happened to me was my professor took me and said, you know what, Saad, I have seen that you've done workshops. I want you to teach sophomore year students, American sophomore year students, and I want you to teach Introduction to Human Communication. The reason I paused there is because when I walked into the class, there was American students sitting in front of me. They all said the computer science department is that side. And I was like, you know what, no, I'm going to be teaching you guys. I'm going to be talking to you guys because I think I can speak English articulately. And if you can understand the words that are coming out of my mouth, then I know I'm not Chris Gale. That happened. The moment that particular thing happened, it triggered something for me. I started teaching and I started talking to people. And in the second year of my media and communication course, which had film as one of my prerequisites, I made a short film. I directed a short film that happened to get screened at the Cannes Film Festival. Now, when I went into this film festival as a short filmmaker, I thought that oh my God, I'm so cool. I'm in the United States of America. I've got full scholarship. I'm going to go there and I'm going to be so cool and hip. And oh my God, these guys are going to go love me. I was lost. Because those people, I went and told them, they asked me, what's your favorite film? I said, DDLJ. They thought I'm ordering a BLT sandwich. I said, DDLJ? He said, oh, it's like BLT, like, oh, DDLJ, like you have lettuce in the middle. No, it's not like that. And the moment I went into that film festival, my worldview sort of opened in front of me. Everything that I hadn't seen, everything that I hadn't understood was right in front of me. And I learned so much from that experience, meeting people from different cultures, different dimensions, different demographic. It changed my perspective. And that's when that trigger of purpose was very strongly put into me. That what's my purpose? Why am I doing this? Do I want to be a filmmaker? Do you think, or did I think that filmmaking was just a small aspect of what I wanted to do on a larger perspective? I finished my degree, and I finished the Cannes Film Festival, and I came back to the United States. I finished my degree, my dissertation, and my project. And the best thing happened to me again after that. Recession hit it. Recession happened to me, and that was the best thing. And I know you might be thinking, why is recession the best thing for me? I had the accolades, at least for that time, but unpaid internships were coming my way. There was no money. There was no financial backing. And because of recession, I was jobless for 2 months after coming back from the film festival and after getting my master's degree. I was jobless. So what to do when you're jobless? Come back to your family, which I did. I came back home. I came back to Bangalore. My parents didn't talk to me. They gave me food and they said, you know what, just eat food and sleep and don't say anything. But I love my parents, and I think they drive you to your goals. That's what they did. And I stayed in Bangalore for 5 days after I came back. In that minor state of jet lag, I went to Bombay because everyone said, if you want to be in film and media, Bombay is the place. I went to Bollywood. I went to Bollywood in 3 minutes, 44 seconds. I have a lot more, so I'm going to finish it. I went to Bollywood and I worked with an Oscar-nominated filmmaker because he liked what I wanted to do. And when I got into his office and I had 20 minutes with him, he said something to me that I can never forget, that I'm going to tell you. I hope I'm going to learn from you, Saad, what you're going to learn from me. That changed my perspective about cinema, because that was big, that was humility, that was respect. I worked in Bollywood for a bit, and I came back. again to Bangalore, because after working for 1.5 years, I realized that I want to just go back to Bangalore for a visit to see what kind of talent is there in Bangalore. And I came back to Bangalore and I saw the talent in Bangalore. I realized that there are a lot of people making short films, a lot of people wanting to work in plays, a lot of people wanting to work in advertising, but where is the opportunity? Do you create an opportunity, or do you ask people to create an opportunity for themselves? The answer was simple. I sat in Infinity, which is a tea shop in Bangalore on Cunningham Road, with another friend, and that's when a purpose of an idea, which is to create paid media opportunities in our own little small way, whatever we could impart, and we created a company. That company is now 2.5 years old, and what we do with that company is we have multiple domains, from television commercials to filmmaking to workshops, which are theater, media, and communication workshops. And that 2.5 years led to a film that was released, which was written and directed by me, made by all Bangaloreans, which was released about a month back or 3 weeks back. And that film was not released just in one city, but in 7 cities nationally in India. And 1,000 films are made every year, and in those 1,000 films, only about 100 films get released. So for us, that paid media opportunity trigger created a lot of opportunities and created a journey for us and a destination, which was a feature film. And apart from that feature film, the other domain that we do is, I love making people happy. And when I see someone distracted, I feel it's my problem. That's why I like to make people attentive to what's happening. We have a comedy show, a comedy property that we do, so that we make people happy, we make them laugh. No pun intended, not that kind of happiness that you're thinking. I'm talking about real world happiness, when you laugh. And that's what we did with this particular property. And in this property, we've got more than 15 people that are getting paid media opportunity by going and making people laugh over the last 2 years. We started off with people just being there for about 30 people would come for our shows. Today, when we do a performance, we are sold out even before the show starts, which is not something that is to be proud of, which is something to show that there is a journey and then there is an end to that journey. That purpose and that time is what defines anything that happens in media, according to me. Now, I've spoken really fast. I have an improvisational thing. I can't learn speeches. So when I want to just say, in a nutshell, what is paid media opportunity? I get these messages on Facebook, and I get these messages, and the messages always ask me, Saad, how do I break in? How do I click in this media industry? I wish I had an answer for that. There is no answer. There is absolutely no answer. And the only answer that I can probably give from my experience is to not focus on what you're going to get out of what you do. Because if you do a workshop, you can't ask the person who's conducting the workshop that, what's my end result of this workshop? You have to create that end result for yourself by being passionate, by being driven. 5 minutes, Mario Benedetti has said, 5 minutes of your life is enough to dream your whole life. And that's how relative time is. So please, I urge all of you all, please make use of your time. Thank you.